Tom Clancy passed away last night in Baltimore, the city where he was born 66 years ago. We really don't know much more than that, but the whole world knows Clancy's work.
Clancy's fictional terror plots sometimes became all too real, such as in 1994 when he imagined a plane crashing into the U.S. Capitol.
One of the functions of artists is to warn people what's possible and dangerous out there.
He was the master of the blockbuster novel, starting with The Hunt for Red October back in 1984. If you didn't read his books, and really it is your loss if you didn't, you have more than likely seen or heard of the movies that were based on his books. And Nichelle Turner joins me now live with more on this. Am I the only one who was so surprised when this news just crossed moments ago?
No, I think a lot of people are surprised. A lot of people still in shock. We started getting word of this last night, Ashley, and worked through the night to confirm it. And now we have confirmed that he passed away yesterday at 66 years of age. You were talking about his work, though, and talking about that he's an iconic figure in the literary world. And it crossed over to Hollywood as well. He wrote 28 novels, 17 of them were New York Times bestsellers. That is almost unheard of. You talked about his first book, The Hunt for Red October, that was published in 1984. President Reagan really legitimized his work, and that's what made that book become a bestseller, because he complimented the work, and he went on to write then films like Clear and Present Danger, The Hunt for Red October, Patriot Games, and when they crossed over to the Hollywood world and became blockbusters, we had Harrison Ford playing Jack Ryan. That kind of, made Harrison Ford this larger-than-life figure. Also, Alec Baldwin played Jack Ryan. Ben Affleck played Jack Ryan. In 2003, he wrote a book called The Teeth of the Tiger, and that was when he introduced Jack Ryan Jr. as the next big intelligence agent in Washington. And he has a book that is going to come out December 3rd, so he does have an unpublished novel that is going to come out called Command Authority. So we will see more of his work in just a couple months. It is shocking.
I interviewed him, I want to say about 10 years ago, and I remember being so dumbstruck by the level of access that man had. He had classified information. He had top-level military that would gladly open their doors to him, and that might be why he was so intriguing. He just seemed to have his finger on the pulse of how things really happen.
And think about this. He was a former insurance agent, and he started writing these books that were so meticulous and such great political thrillers. And he did an interview, I think it was with AskMen.com, and he said, the really spooky thing is, a lot of the stuff that I wrote about and thought I was making up has now come true. And so it was almost like he had this uncanny foreshadowing ability, just such a great writer. Also, he loved baseball, and at one point he was part owner of the Baltimore Orioles. Now they list him as part of their front office, so I'm not really sure where that stood at yet, but yes, definitely will be.